Hi guys, this is Justin back with an engineer's perspective, and today we're doing a keychain multi-tool or just tool shootout. Having lots of people have very bulky keys, so this would probably be right up your alley, but lots of people like having minimalist keys. And I think there's options here for both those kind of individuals. I tend to be more on the minimalist side of my keys because I don't like having them being all bulky in my pocket. So we've got tools here that I think are for both of those kinds of people. And now I've kind of broken up the ones here into three categories. So you've got your scissors-based category. You've got your pliers-based category, and then what basically comes down to, there are other tool makers, but what basically comes down to the Victorinox 58 millimeter, I believe is the size models. And yeah, we'll look into those. So that's kind of the three categories you've got. You've got the, plier form factor, but with scissors, the actual pliers, and then the 58. So let's kind of dig into them, and then I'll go over what I think is the best for most people and certain kinds of people. So we'll just focus on the scissors first. So this particular tool here is actually the first keychain multi-tool I ever bought and became my favorite tool just straight up for many years. And a big reason of that was the usefulness of the scissors, but also at the time I wasn't technically allowed to carry a pocket knife with me. So this knife that's included here got a lot of stuff done for me while being able to carry it and not get in trouble. I'm not suggesting that you do that, that's just what I chose to do. So something that really defines this category are the spring-loaded scissors. The quality of these scissors is really important for their usefulness, in my opinion. And I've got two Leatherman ones here. And I'll say is that these are very high quality scissors, but they aren't the epitome of scissors. So in my opinion, these scissors on these guys are better than these, but obviously are handicapped by their size. So for your usage, if you need bigger size, heavier duty things. So if you're using these to like cut zip ties or I don't know, big heavy things, pieces of clothing, things like that, these are going to be a lot better. But if you're just nipping off like you have a hangnail, then these are going to destroy these guys all day long. So that's where these scissors come in, is for those heavier duty scissor jobs. And you can really get a lot done with these. So comparing these two, this is a Leatherman style CS, and this is the Leatherman Micra. So between these two, I prefer the CS because for me, being able to quickly remove it from my keys and use it and then put it back is really important. So this carabiner on the Style series is super important for me. And it's kind of a tool that has everything you need but nothing you don't, because I tend to carry Victorinox compact on me at all times. So I don't need a whole bevy of tools because I already have that. So I need something that's more supplemental to it for my use. But you've just got the knife blade, then what is a flathead and Phillips long reach screwdriver, which can be really nice. Also a pry tool, very good file. You've got a pair of tweezers here that are really good. And then a bottle cap opener, the carabiner, and then the scissors. So this is kind of my preference, is if you're carrying another tool already, use this to have, like a scissors on you as like a support role. Whereas if you are only carrying one single tool on you, and you want the main scissors, then the Micra is going to be more of a full-featured tool for that kind of purpose. So you see it has 1, 2, and 3 different flatheads. This one doubles as a Phillips. You've got a nice bottle opener there, tweezers, a knife, and then a good file and a nice nail scraper. So if you like to use this to kind of keep your, fingernails looking nice, which I kind of do, having some of these things in here can be really nice. So this is a more full-featured tool if you're just going to carry one. All right, so moving off of the scissors and onto the plier-based tools. So if you know you want the pliers, then but if you don't know what are the pliers good for, well, for one, they're really good at grabbing things. If you end up a lot in your life where you need to either do a fine work with like tying a small knot, or if you have like a dog and they get prickles in their paws, you can pull them out there with these. They're very well made. They're very fine and come together at the tip. So they're really great for even grabbing out like a splinter. And then this full-size plier jaw in there, well, not full-size, but like normal plier jaw, will grab 1/4-inch fittings, okay. And then the wire cutters in there, I don't know the maximum wire gauge you can do, but I can tell you that you can use those wire cutters to cut metal bands on like a pallet. So I'll cut one side, cut the other side, and I'll grab it and you can twist it and break it. So good for metal banding, good for grabbing stuff and all, just kind of normal plier things. So the style, once again, I really like the carabiner feature. Still has the tweezers, still has that same combo tool there, but now instead of the knife blade, you've got a pair of scissors. So for a guy that now is able to carry a pocket knife everywhere, this is my preferred over this now, and is the one I go to actually when I'm looking for a plier-based tool, because once again, we'll get into the squirt here, but it's more of a full-featured tool and I don't need that full feature. So it's nice to have these scissors on here for normal jobs. Once again, the Victorinox scissors are gonna be better than these ones for those really small tasks. Like these aren't that great for nipping a hangnail, is one of the examples I like to use. They are spring-loaded, super nifty. They're fairly light, well, they're really light. So that's the style. Now here's the squirt, and this is the same relationship as we had prior, where you've got kind of the everything you need, nothing you don't. Whereas this is if you're only carrying one multi-tool, this might be the way to do it, because you get the full multi-tool set of tools here. Just kind of get them all out real quick. Should have done the blade last. Okay, so you've got big flathead, small flathead, bottle opener, Phillips. You've got the same scissors. You've got a single cut and cross cut file that does work on your fingernails if you want. Oh yeah, and an edge cut file. So this is good even if you buy like a plastic toy and it's got like the molding spot on it that's like sharp and whatever, then you can use that to knock that down. I like having a file. And then the standard chisel ground Leatherman knife. And then everything about these is the same as on those. So if you're the kind of person that needs the pliers or thinks he'll find the usefulness of the pliers and is okay with having the small scissors over the big ones, then these are gonna be really helpful for you. All right, on to the next. So then this is actually my preferred daily use tool set. And this is for two reasons. Is I found for myself is it's kind of surprising. I didn't think it would be the case, but I tend not to use these pliers on a day-to-day basis. And what I have done for a long time now is a lot of times I'll carry a full-size multi-tool like the Charge. But even when I don't have this, I tend not to use those pliers. So then I'm like, okay, I don't need the pliers, so then let's go to something with scissors. Well, I always have these scissors on me, which completely, blow away those ones. So that's why I tend not to go with those on a day-to-day basis. And I prefer these. So this is the Victorinox Classic SD with the alox scales. And if you are the person that just can't stand to have anything on your keys, this is the way to go. It weighs like nothing. Like just absolutely nothing. It is so thin and unobtrusive. It's got a knife blade on it, open packages, scrape something, whatever. These great scissors for nipping a thread, cutting a little bit of paper, hangnails, all that sort of a thing. Trimming a hair off your beard hairs, or if you got a straggler on your head. And then a great file, a flathead, and this also works as a number 2 Phillips. I've used it several times for that. So this is the one, if you can't stand to have anything on your keys, this will bring so much into your life, is that. And then this is actually my first Victorinox I ever bought. And this is the same tool, the Classic SD, with just their standard ruby scales. And all that brings to the table is a toothpick and their tweezers. I will say that the Leatherman tweezers, these guys, are better than the Victorinox ones. So if that matters to you, the Leatherman ones are the way to go. And it's just the same tool that's just a little bit heavier, a little bit thicker, but got those scale tools on it. And now we get into what is my singularly favorite keychain tool, and that's the Rambler. And you can kind of see how we're kind of doing an iterative process of upgrading here as we go. So we went from this, we added the scale tools. Now we've got the same as the Classic, but we're adding this combo tool, and it has a number 1, number 2 Phillips, wire stripper, bottle cap lifter. And this is why I choose this tool. It's for that Phillips, because if I don't have my Leatherman charge on me, then between the compact and this, I can do everything, because the Victorinox compact doesn't have a Phillips. But this Phillips is amazing, and you would be blown away by the things you can get done with this and how convenient it is to have such a small length of a Phillips, whereas like screwdrivers might have a hard time getting in there. The bottle cap lifter works, but not that well, and the wire stripper kind of does too, it's fine. But this is the main thing I come for. And here's a really important note, is here you've got the knife blade on the Rambler, and here you do on the Classic. And see, on the Classic, you've got the keyring on this side, whereas on the Rambler, it's on the opposite. That's really handy to not have that silly keyring in the way like you do on the Classic with just the knife blade and the file there. So you see on the Rambler that these two tools don't have to deal with that, but then the other two do. So I think it's important to not have the keychain for the scissors and knife. Your mileage may vary. But so the Rambler, to me, is the perfect amount of usefulness, but small and lightweight, having that guy for Phillips and then that guy for hangnails. I really like this. That's like my ideal. Then we'll do one more jump up to the minichamp. And this is like a throw everything at the wall and see what sticks sort of a tool. Just open everything up in here. And last one, if I can get it. Okay. So as with the Leathermans, there's kind of everything you need, nothing you don't, and then a full thing. So that's what this is, the minichamp is. If you want the full amount of features you can get minus pliers, then the minichamp is the way to go if you just want to be like a one and done kind of a person. And just really quick, well, we'll just go through. So I've got the normal knife that you've seen before. Close that. Normal scissors that you've seen before. That same combo tool on the Rambler, that is amazing. Then you've got like a Warncliffe blade, and I like to keep one as like very sharp blade and one as a like beater blade. So then that way you'll always have one that can deal with really intricate tasks and one for like opening packages and such. So I like having the two blades. This is an orange peeler, is what it's supposed to be. I use it as an orange peeler, but also as a package opener, noting that that point is extremely sharp. You've got the nail file with the normal nail cleaner, also works as like a #1 Phillips. And then you've got a ruler in centimeters and inches. That's not very useful, to be honest. It can be useful if you're measuring like the head of a bolt. If you're like, you know, oh, what size do I need to grab from the toolbox? You can just measure it with that. I don't know if you can see the markings on it. And then you've got the flat head that doubles as a #2 Phillips. And then this is like the crack spoon or drug spoon or whatever. But I use this as my flathead driver on this, the big flathead, and that works really good. And then you've got the tweezers. And actually, and this is another big one, if I want something to write with, then I like to bring the minichamp and I'll write with it just like that. And then you can get versions of all of these with that pen in there. So whatever you want. But so you've kind of got I need the absolute minimalist of all of these. And then you've got the everything I need, nothing I don't. And then the full size, everything included multi-tool. And then if you just want the minimalist, but a tweezers and toothpick is important too, there's that. So for my mileage, what wins the Shootout? Well, I already kind of gave it away as the Rambler, because I don't need the pliers, I don't use them, and these scissors, along with the scissors on my compact, get more done better than these scissors do on here. I did mention that quick detach from my keys is important, and I've been taking care of that with these little S-beaners. So I'll just have it on there and I'll just pop it off. It's not nearly as convenient as the carabiner, but it works good enough. So that's the ultimate EDC pocket tool. And I already kind of discussed who the rest are for, but this is my choice every day. So thank you for watching. This is Justin from Engineer's Perspective. Have a good one. Bye.